What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Shiny Shuriken video. Today we're going to talk about something that we haven't talked about in a while. PWD. We are going to talk about the Pokemon World Domination Draft League. Now, you may have noticed that you haven't seen a video with the final weeks of the regular season or the playoffs. And it's because the league took a little bit of a pause. We lost some commitment from several of the players throughout the season, and they just weren't as invested, and they had things that come up in their life, which is completely understandable. But we aren't a league that has tons of reserves, and it's our first season, so we were just learning, and basically we tried to get as far as we could. And so what we're going to actually be declaring today is the end of PWD's regular season. Obviously, we've been on a little bit of a break here for, I think, like a month and a half. And the individuals in the group have obviously been still chatting. We've made good friendships here. And so we've stayed in contact, and we're still talking nearly every day. And what we've been talking about is wanting to continue, wanting to finish Season 1, and find out who is the true champion of Pokemon World Domination Draft League Season 1. So what we want to do is end the regular season today, and what we're going to do is we're going to move in to a extended playoff format. Essentially, instead of going in with 8 top teams, we're actually going to bring 12 active players. And then we're going to match them up, so there's no bye weeks. The number one player is going to have to play week 1, so the number one player could be knocked out right away, but it'll be fun. We get lots of battles. That's what the goal of this first season was to battle. After that, we're going to go through quarterfinal, then a semifinal, and into the championship. There will be a bye week for the highest seed in, I think, either the quarterfinals or semifinals. We'll talk about that in a minute. But what I want to do today is just give you a little rundown on the records, talk a little bit about the teams, some of the fun stuff that's happened in the league. And then, actually, I'm going to show you the playoff seeding. And for those of you in the PWD, for those of you coming out to watch this, this will be the seeding that we will begin in a couple of weeks here. And we're going to get into these battles. It's going to be a great time. And I'm super excited that in 4 weeks from the start of the playoffs, we will crown our first champion. It'll be a lot of fun. So, it's only going to be one battle, which if you've been watching the PWD this season, you know that it's been best of 3. This is going to be one battle only. This is to speed things up, and kind of one of the reasons the PWD fell apart was just because the battles were taking so long. It was a lot to commit, an hour to an hour and a half or more. If you add in prep time, time to evaluate your opponent's team, all of that beforehand stuff, and then also the fact that if you went 3 battles, that maybe if each one went to timer, I mean, you're looking at a minimum of 60 minutes just for the matches themselves at 20 minutes. So it was a lot to commit to. So playoffs are going to be the single game elimination. So bring your A game, you guys. It's going to be an amazing time. I can't wait. So with no further ado, let's jump into this. Let's go take a look at what the records were at the end of the regular season. And then let's take a look at the standings. Okay, guys, so here we are. This is a little doc that we have kept up with throughout the season. And we've done our best to record all KOs and everything. From what was KO'd by a Pokemon to what was KO'd by weather to entry hazard. Tried to track accurately all of those kill deaths. And so it's been really fun for me to actually keep up on the statistical side of all of this league. I enjoyed it a lot. And what I want to do right now is just give you a little rundown of the power rankings. These are not the actual standings, as you can tell by the number 6th standing, who has a better record than the 4th and 5th. But things like power of schedule, kill-death ratios, differentials, all of that went into how I put into play the 1 through 10 that we're going to talk about here. So up first is Ryan. Ryan was the coach of the Siamwood City Quagsires, and he went on a tear this season, absolutely obliterating opponents, winning 7-0 all 7 games of the regular season, 14-0, only taking 2 games each instead of ever having to go to game 3. And the kill death, just a great differential of 47, not dropping a lot of Pokemon, playing smart. He was the benefactor of letting this draft league let him draft a unbelievable team, before the games came out. So absolutely in his favor with his draft experience and, his absolute knowledge of the game. Fantastic for him. But he did have a monster of a team. So, it's crazy to see an absolute undefeated season like that. But props to Ryan on the first season for PWD being undefeated as well. So he'll be the number 1 seed as we head into playoffs. Up next is a tie between Stacy and James for second and third. I chose to put Stacy over James because Stacy did beat James in the head-to-head matchup in the regular season. Both of them coming in at a 6-1 record. Stacy only dropping a game to Ryan, and James only dropping a game to Stacy. So they had both great game differentials, great kill-death ratios. James was actually, deserving of a shout-out because James was the leader in kills, absolutely obliterating people with his leader, Copperajah. James had the Pokemon leader, absolutely crushing opponents at 34. So crazy stuff right there. But also a reverse shout-out being the death leader with Bronzong at 15 as well. So absolutely leaving that thing out there for death fodder. So fantastic job to James having a crazy kill ratio of 91, or a kill total of 91. That's unbelievable. So very good competitors, those top 3. They're going to be tough to beat in the playoffs. 4th and 5th came in with Bishme and Brandon. I edged Bishme out only because they both had very strong schedules. They went up against a lot of top competitors. Bishme, however, did not draft his team. Bishme came up and picked up this team from another individual who dropped out at the beginning. So has made it work to the best of his ability with a very strong schedule. And so we're going to give Bishme the edge over Brandon, but they're both, they shouldn't be looked at on any different kind of playing field. They're very strong competitors. I've played both of them many a time. So it'll be interesting to see what they do in the playoffs as well. In 6th is the individual with the better record, but we dropped them due to kind of the ease of schedule. Didn't really have a lot of tough competition in the season. Overall, the kill-death ratio wasn't the greatest, and so that kind of starts playing in. If you look at the overall factor, it kind of goes down in that situation by looking at the differential. Nathan has been a great player all season, and something that hasn't helped his ability to grow in the power rankings is that none of his matches have actually been recorded. So nothing is up for us to watch on replay to see, what the style of play is or how well the decisions were made, things like that, that might make their way into a power ranking decision. So it's been interesting having an individual who's never had a recorded matchup be in the league here and right in the middle of the pack there. So, but still a great competitor. I know I've played him a couple of times on my streams. He's got different types of strategies than I would say most regular meta players. So it'll be interesting to have him in the playoffs. Up next is myself and Sammy. I'm edging Sammy just a hair with my kill-death ratio and my differential. So we've both got a 4-3 record, very similar game record as well. And it'll be interesting to see what Sammy brings in the playoffs. She's got a great team with a lot of really, really big threats. Haxorus, Snorlax. Man, I can't remember anymore. It's been a while. But I can't wait to see it. And for myself, I will, of course, be bringing my weather and all of my walls that I apparently drafted. To see what I can do. We'll try to put something together with the Fargo Phalanx so we can make a little run at that championship and maybe rematch up with Ryan there. The next 2 competitors I'm going to talk about are Carlos and David. Carlos and David, let's address Carlos first. Carlos is kind of the individual getting hindered by us dropping the regular season where we are. Absolutely was probably headed towards a 5-4 record coming out positive, so this losing record is definitely not something that should reflect Carlos' season. He's absolutely played extremely well, especially of late. He maybe dropped a few matches in the beginning, but got his stride towards the end of the season here, and has really found an understanding in his team that's helped him finish off the season the way he has. So I expect big things from him in the playoffs. He's got a great team that was also not drafted by him, but it was actually drafted very, very well. It's a really strong team with a lot of big threats in there. And yeah, it'll be fun to see what he can do in the playoffs, especially with the growth he's had recently. David, coming in with the 2-5 record, obviously wouldn't have made playoffs or would have been on the cusp had there been a grouping of 4-5 records. But he's played as well as I think he can. Also, again, being another individual who did not draft his team. It is always so hard to not be the one who drafted the team and then make it your own. But David has also put together a few great matchups here this season, and so I can't wait to see him pick it back up. We've all gotten way more familiar with Sword and Shield and this meta format and a lot of the strategies and play styles of opponents. We found new ways to play against certain Pokemon, so I'm excited to see what all of these competitors and the ones who are maybe in the bottom tier of this, seeing how they play against top tier opponents who we now know how to play those top tier Pokemon. So I can't wait. Two names that are not on this list here, but that are going to be in the playoffs are Anthony and Sunny. Both of them fierce competitors. Sunny's been playing Pokemon for a long time. He's the gaming fool, for those of you who know him from my channel here. He's got a vast understanding of competitive Pokemon. He's an active player, and so we're going to be adding him and Anthony both to the playoffs. Anthony came a long way at the end of the season and was putting together a really great run. Those are going to be the 12 people that make it into the playoffs. So let's jump over and take a look at what the playoff standings are going to look like. Okay, let's get into it. This is the ranking for Season 1 PWD playoffs. I'm excited. It's going to be single elimination, you guys. No 3 games. Bring your A game to the first game. We are going to run down this line real quick. It is based off of those power rankings that we just went over. And essentially I just went 1 through 6 and then back up. So kind of traditional setup, but a little bit different. The number 1 seed's playing the number 12 seed, Sunny. Ryan and Sunny are going to go up against each other, and there's no buys in round 1 or 2. It's actually the 3rd round where the highest seed is going to see that bye week. So they'll get a bye right before the championship, which will hopefully benefit them. They can kick back, check out whoever plays in that final matchup of the semifinals, and prep for their opponent. So I'm excited for that. But Ryan and Sunny will be the first matchup. Up next will be Stacy and David going at it. The winner of those matches will meet up in the quarterfinals. So it'll be exciting to see if maybe we see a Sunny David matchup in the quarterfinals. You never know. Playoffs, only a single elimination game, will be quite the playoff style. Up next, James and Anthony will be pairing up. James and Anthony, interesting story, are actually brothers. So we'll have a little family feud here in one of the rounds, which I'm excited about. James, of course, with that monster team with the kill leader on Caparaja, going up against Anthony, who's put together a really great Sun team. I'm very excited to watch that matchup as well. Bishmi and Carlos will be matching up as well. There's 2 individuals who did not draft their teams who have made it to playoffs and are playing against each other, so I'm kind of excited for that one. They're both really fierce competitors, and I can't wait to see what they bring to the table against each other. Brandon and Sammy are going to be matching up. Brandon, one of the top 5, going up against Sammy, who's really come into her own after also not drafting her team. Lots of drops this season, but we're going to work on that for season 2, right, guys? So I'm excited. Can't wait. And then my matchup, finally, I am going to be taking on Nathan round 1. Nathan will finally be put up on YouTube, so he'll get some recorded content. So we'll put Nathan up on the spotlight. But good luck to everybody. The winners of those rounds, I will put up a video for the next round to announce quarterfinal matchups. And we'll keep rocking this out week by week. And so in 4 short weeks from when we start this, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, you'll see round 1 come out. We will get the quarterfinal video coming out as well after we have the winners. So Can't wait to see who comes out on top of the PWD Season 1. It's going to be a great time. I can't wait for it. I hope you guys are excited, and I hope you stop back for the videos. Hope you check out those battles. Again, on my channel, you can check it out on the playlist. There is a PWD playlist as well, which has the regular season, weeks 1 through 7 up there. So go ahead and check those out. You know, a lot of those videos do link into to the other individuals in the league who have content creation, who are content creators and have channels of their own. So make sure you show them some love as well. Go check out their lists. I'm sure they have theirs under playlists as well. So check it out, you guys. I can't wait for these playoffs to start. So let's get into it. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for more content from Shiny Shuriken, as well as draft leagues, shiny hunting, live streams. It's a great time over here, so make sure you come on back. We'll see you guys next time.